Hello everyone, this is Craig Valine. Today is a very special day. Today is the beginning of a launch by Dan Kennedy for Glazer Kennedy Insider Circle called the Ultimate Lead Generation Machine. Chances are you've gotten an email from GKIC from Dan. Although he doesn't write emails, someone writes them from in his name. But anyway, you either received emails from Glazer Kennedy or from one of his or their affiliates. So I want to share something with you before you make a decision about all this stuff. I want to share with you some tips and strategies and the importance of lead flow before you ever make a decision about whether or not you want to get involved with this particular program. Dan says lead flow is the key to success in business because there's three ways to grow any business. Number one is increase the number of customers you do business with, clients, patients, etc., whatever you call them, and that is lead flow. Number two is get them to buy more per transaction, increase the average transaction size. And number three is get them to do business with you more often. Today, in this brief video, I'm going to just share about number one. Okay, increasing lead flow. If you want to watch those videos, if you haven't already, you can view that, and I encourage you to. But I'm going to have something special to offer you that only local chapter members and friends of mine will have access to if you're interested in learning more about lead flow and taking advantage of this ultimate lead generation machine. You can view those videos later on today at www.dankennedyfreetraining.com. So let's get into a brief training. This will take a very short period of time for you to understand the importance of lead flow, why it's critical to your business, and if you want to get some advanced training from Dan, then again, GKIC has made it available to me to offer you a special discount to order before everybody else. Okay, so let's go. So how do you build an incredibly successful marketing system? Well, you have three building blocks. Number one is you got to have a truly compelling, preferably irresistible marketing message. No plain vanilla stuff. You've got to compel people to raise their hand and say, I am interested. I want more information now. That's exactly what I'm thinking, exactly what I need. I'm interested. Boom, they get it, right? Designing and delivering your message only to those most likely to respond. Okay, you got to target the best possible markets. Who it's for, who it's not for. Repel those who it's not for. Number three, using the most appropriate effective combination is the key word of media. We can target a marketing message using one media, but we limit our reachability because not everybody reads, listens, or watches the same thing. If we use multiple things same time simultaneously, then we have a better chance of reaching that ideal target market. So you have to know your target market real well, right? Here are some questions that may or may not pertain to every single target market, but they're things to think about. What keeps your target market, your ideal prospect, up at night? Who are they mad at or about? What are their top three daily frustrations? What is their day like? What trends are occurring in that target market? What do they secretly desire most? What is their subculture language? Okay, a niche tends to evolve around business. So a niche would be Hispanic business owners who live in Pasadena. A subculture might be a hobby. Okay, so people who enjoy to hunt. Okay, how do they describe themselves? How do they talk to each other? Do they have special jargon, special vocabulary, special insider language? What is your marketing advantage? That's going to be very, very important. So where are your best prospective customers, clients, or patients? Okay, what do they read? What do they watch? What do they listen to? Where do they go? And where do they congregate? Okay, these are the ways you decide where to place your marketing message. Okay, this is called the media. Okay, but those questions are critical because I once had an information marketing mastermind member. We once had two groups running at the same time. We had a member from the information marketing mastermind, and I always said, don't make any decisions without running it by me. Let me be your advisor on these things, right? And I said, we identified where her target market was. Well, she got approached by an ad rep, and we call this being an advertising victim, by the way, getting suckered in by the ad rep who says, oh, you should be here because you'll have an exclusive opportunity, blah, 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 and it's cheap. Well, for $350, that $350 is $350. And if nobody's going to see your ad or at least pay attention to it and your target market's not going to be there, then it's a complete waste of money. Give me the $350 and we'll call it a day. But you don't want to get suckered in. You want to pick the right media. What do they read? What do they watch? What do they listen to? Where do they go? And where do they congregate? Key elements of a direct response message, because we use direct response. We don't want to have a ton of branding just going on. Branding is important, but it's first and foremost, results is the name of the game. So we want to have meaningful specifics, not vague generalities. We want to speak to a very specific who with a very, very specific solution to a problem. We want to have a bold promise that we can do it, we promise, we guarantee it, take out the risk. Make an offer or offers. Okay, don't just leave it to them to make a thing. Tell them what to do now. Tell them why they need to do it. Okay, it's takeaway selling. Give them a bold reason for acting now. Precise commands. What do you want them to do right now? Pick up the phone, dial 1-800-123-4567, ask for Alice, tell her you want the blank program. Or, you see where I'm going? You got to tell them. Don't assume that they will know. Have an extra reason to act immediately. Give them a bonus. Give them an extra bonus for doing so. Okay? Extra incentive. People's lives are busy. If you just have a plain ordinary offer, well, I'll take advantage of that. I have things in my email. Personally, I have things in my email that I want to take advantage of, and I flag it so that I'll go back to it. But if they said, you know what, for the first 5 people who take advantages, you'll get free coaching from me, or you'll do something, I'm like, of course, I want that. I'll take advantage of that, right? Because it gives me added incentive. All right, how lead generation ads work? Really, they work much like a personal ad. Have you ever placed a personal ad? Have you ever read one? They're kind of fun, but really, it describes who you want to respond and who you don't want to respond, okay? It can often be done with small, relatively inexpensive ads, okay? That allows you to use the other money for follow-up and for to place ads in other media, okay? So a personal ad might look like this, right? Single white male, 38, seeks single white female or divorced white female, 25 to 35, non-smoker, casual drinker, into golf, travel, fine dining, Rush Limbaugh, and the Grateful Dead. Someone told me the other day that was an oxymoron. If you're into the Grateful Dead, you just don't like Rush Limbaugh. No pets bigger than a bread box, right? Okay, you see how that works? It's very precise. It says who it's for, who it's not for. Okay, the tighter the description, the more likely you are to get exactly the respondents you want, although at the expense of quantity. You're not going to get a ton. You're going to get a very narrow list of people who are interested in what you have to say. They are more predisposed to buy because it's for them. Does that make sense? All right. Sample lead generation magnets. You want them to raise their hands, okay? So, and request free information so you can start the follow process. Remember, trust is at an all-time low. We call this the recession of trust. So you have to build trust by offering them a kind of a sampling of what you do. Offer them free information. But if you've known me for any period of time, I recommend following up with things that support and sell you in advance. So we call it a holy crap kit, or the shock and awe kit, as Dan Kennedy calls it, okay? So you might offer a free video, free CD, free DVD, free book, ebook, consumer awareness guide, as Joe Polish calls it, free report, white paper, coupons, software, tools, etc. Okay, so you give something compelling that they want, they request, and then you'll supplement it with other stuff that will sell you in advance. So they're like, what are we waiting for? We don't want to have to convince anybody to buy from us in a one-to-one setting. We want to do all that before we ever meet with them. Okay, lead generation through direct mail, classic Dan Kennedy letters, the Giorgio letters. Okay, first letter on the left says, hey, this is for the husband of the house who might not be nurturing his relationship with his wife, and here's an irresistible offer, take advantage of it, and by the way, here's a bonus if you respond now. Second letter follows up, it's a sequence. Hey, I mailed you last week about a special offer because I know you're busy. I know stuff comes up, but look, you got to take advantage of it. Here's a special offer, and here's an additional bonus for taking advantage of it now. Number 3, I'm sad you haven't responded, evidently. Okay, so you can use direct mail, and that's powerful because you have greater reach through direct mail. And direct mail should be acting like a salesperson sitting across the table from someone who is qualified. Okay. Lead generation through a squeeze page. Here's one that I did a long time ago for consultants, right? My problem, I was solving a problem for consultants, right? And that is free video reveals the number one secret to attracting new client engagements without writing free proposals. One of the biggest problems consultants have is writing a lot of free proposals and hoping one of them sticks. Okay, I got tired of that. So, and I know that other consultants are tired of that too. So that's that. I gave them a free video that reveals how to do that. That's my lead generation magnet. Okay, and I'm speaking to a very specific who. I'm solving problems, how to stop competing with other consultants, how to get clients to listen to every word you have to say, how to say goodbye to responding to RFPs. You see, I'm solving a specific problem, and I got lots of leads because of that. Here's one from Fabienne Fredrickson. She's also a consultant, caters to mostly female service businesses, okay, consultants, coaches, etc. But she has a lead magnet also, and her lead magnet is the free CD. But if you'll notice there, if you opt in with a first name and primary email, you notice that you're not giving your mailing address right there. Well, that's in case someone says, nah, I've decided not to do it. Well, now she can still market to you because you've expressed interest, okay? In essence, here's the funnel. Okay, so you do multiple media simultaneously. You want to advertise where people read. You want to do it online or offline. Direct mail, powerful. Okay, publicity, getting in the media, tying into the interest of people most likely to read it that will be interested in you and what you have to say, and tons of other stuff. You've put them in a funnel, right? And send them either to a website, a free recorded message, an operator who can take their stuff, and the whole purpose is to capture the lead, get the information, and get permission to market to them or to send them information. Okay, then you have multi-step multimedia follow-up. Okay, and you can do that by mail, email, telephone, fax, webinars, in person, or other. And I encourage you to use all. Okay, see, that's lead flow. Okay, everything I just described you creates lead flow, and that's the power of it. It's huge. Okay, without new clients, patients, customers, whatever you call them, you don't have growth in your business. Okay, if you just have a certain number of customers and that's all you want to do business with, well, what happens when one leaves? What happens with your growth? You're stagnant. Okay, you don't have any growth for income, for equity to sell down the line if you choose. Okay, so lead flow is critical to the success of any business. So let me just show you an example. Here's someone, right? I think I mentioned hair bows earlier on, but here's someone who didn't have a business, always wanted a business. Okay, the husband was an out-of-work actor. The wife was a corporate muckety muck, right? And they always said, God, if we had our own business, we'd have the great life. Well, they had a friend who lived next door who created hair bows for little girls. And they said, well, let's try to market this. They had met Russell Brunson. He's the internet marketing guru, writes for the Diamond Letter, does critiques for them. But anyway, they met him, followed all his suggestions, and created this website. The easiest and fastest and least expensive way to make hair bows, perfect for beginners. Free access, how to make a boutique hair bow, right? So those people searching for how to make a boutique hair bow, right? I think the URL is howtomakehairbowscom. Simple, right? Okay, so Zan and Jen Spencer started their own business by helping a friend market their small hair bows for girls hobby. Set up a simple lead generation website, which is what I just showed you. 20 minutes a day marketing. Can you do something 20 minutes a day? They do 2-minute videos through Trafficizer, whereas they film their friend showing you how to make a new hair bow style. Okay. They use Google AdWords, so they pay for their leads, which is good because if someone, it's okay to invest in getting a lead, okay, a qualified lead, by the way, okay, and they use joint venture partners, people who already have the customer, okay, 20 minutes a day. Can you do that? Sure you can. Okay, so they were able to take an 86-day vacation because the business runs on automatic, 20 minutes a day marketing, okay. That's Jen, by the way, on their vacation, kayaking somewhere in Colorado. Last year in 2011, they got over 500,000 leads. That means people opted in to watch the free video. Okay, they're earning mid 6 figures now because of lead flow. And Zan, they now moved to California. Zan, the husband, is now a full-time actor. So you know what? Lead flow allowed them to do that. 20 minutes a day. Okay? Marketing to the right people using the right media with a compelling, irresistible message that they're looking for, that the target market's looking for. Okay? So you might have seen this earlier in the month where I was arrested, quote unquote. Valine taken into custody for allegedly stealing and selling at a $300 discount 10 copies of Dan Kennedy's new program, The Ultimate Lead Generation Machine. So what was that all about? Well, GKIC gave me, as an independent business advisor for GKIC, they gave me the opportunity to make an offer to you to try out the Ultimate Lead Generation Machine by Dan Kennedy. They gave us the video number 4, which is really the last video in the series of 4 for their new launch, which is starting today, to demonstrate why lead flow number 1 is critical. And Dan talks about how Disney bought Marvel Comics. Why did they do that? They bought it because at a certain age, kids, teenagers, reach that point in their lives where they're not interested in Disney anymore. Okay? Hard to believe, I know. Everybody loves Disney. But they love superhero characters. They love the comic side. So Disney was smart, bought Marvel Comics to tap into the older child, if you will. So they would still have that lead flow. They'd still have that connection and contact to basically extending the value of a customer. Okay, so Dan explained that in the video, and we showed that at the local chapter meeting recently. But GKIC made an offer of $300 discount that they're not offering anybody else. You will not see this offer made to anyone, no matter what email you receive, whether it's by Frank Kern, Eben Pagan, Ryan Dice, whatever. You won't see this $300 discount. They made it specific for you, for members and friends of me. Okay. So here's what was on there. So Dan Kennedy's Mailbox Millions program, which they gave me an advanced copy of it, and let me tell you, I've got every program that Dan Kennedy's ever made, or I have attended them. This is one of his absolute best. I mean, dissects direct mail so that you never ever have to question whether or not direct mail is right for you, and it's perfect for lead flow, for lead generation. Insider secrets for selecting mailing lists that make you rich. The number one question I get from people who want to try direct mail is, where do I get lists? How do I choose a list? What things do I have to do? Well, this insider secrets for selecting mailing lists was done by Craig Simpson, who is an expert at mailing lists. He's a student of Dan Kennedy's personally. He actually spoke at the Mailbox Millions event. I just saw him in one of the videos. I'm now on DVD number 9. It's an hour and 45 minutes per training. Let me tell you again, the best thing I've ever watched. Top secret ninja funnels, how to create lead flow funnels. I just showed you one. Very simple, right? But they'll show you the top secret ones that the best online marketers are using. Online lead generation mastery, how to use, I showed you Squeeze Page, right? I use that to generate lead flow. Zan and Jen use that to generate lead flow online. You'll learn from the top people there. How to use dirt cheap postcards and simple newsletters to drive massive traffic, lead flow, and profits. Huge, speaks for itself. Fast Start machine installation CD. So there's a program. They have a software that goes on your desktop that helps you, remind you, and get you going on lead flow every single day. Remember, Zan and Jen did it 20 minutes a day. They do simple 2-minute videos, and they get 500,000 leads in a year. They're semi-retired. They let the business run on its own. Zan moved to California to be able to act, and he's doing well. Okay, get it? It's 20 minutes a day. That's all. It's a system. Okay, so plus there's some following bonuses. If you do not already own Magnetic Marketing, #1 lead generation toolkit that I've ever gotten, that I started my career when I was struggling. I have the 1997 edition and I still use it to this day. I have the new edition too. Not much difference, just more examples, but you got to own this. If you don't own it, you're not a real GKICer. But perfect for generating lead flow, and they're applicable. Basically, they're templates for every type of industry, whether it's service, business to business, business to consumer, real estate, service businesses, etc., etc. There's templates in there and examples of people using these. You got to have it. And if you already have it, well, then sell it on eBay when you're done. It doesn't matter. And that way you'll make part of your investment back, right? Secrets to U.S. Postal Service does not want you to know. Again, another thing by a mail house expert, someone who mails out for businesses, who's going to reveal those secrets, things you need to know, okay? Because guess what? Even though direct mail is like the #1 media for reaching your target prospect, the U.S. Postal Service doesn't deliver it all, and you need to know how to get past that and track it. Okay, so the most amazing lead generation and profit system ever. It speaks for itself. And plus, you'll get a free ticket to the upcoming Info Summit. If you want, a part of lead flow is sharing information that will benefit your ideal prospect. So it might be a book, might be a CD, might be an audio program, might be anything. You need to know how to market that stuff and how to be efficient at it, what you're actually really selling, okay, how to become the expert. And the Info Summit will show you how to do that. One of the best events, Glazer Kennedy does two primary events. One is the Super Conference and one is the Info Summit. Great programs, and you get a free ticket to it. That's a $29.97 or a $19.97 value. So if you can go. And lastly, this is my bonus to you. I'm offering an 8-week Ultimate Lead Generation Machine coaching program. Okay, there'll be 2 half days together plus 6 weeks of phone coaching and teleseminar to work you through developing your Ultimate Lead Generation Machine. So whether you have one now, we'll enhance that performance. We'll get it working like an even better, well-oiled machine. If you don't have one, then we'll design one for you. Okay, that speaks directly to your target market, has a compelling, irresistible message, and utilizes and has the right appropriate media working for you. So that's powerful. Okay, so listen, attached to this email, or the email that you're watching this video from, is the form. It has to be to me by Saturday at 5 p.m. because I need to get it to them the next morning. Okay, if you notice, it's $300 off. Okay, total value of $7,700. They're offering it to you for $1,697. And look, the Mailbox Millions event was $5,000 to attend. Okay, you're getting the DVDs, the audios, and the manual that had all the examples in it. That alone is worth the entire program. But aside, you get all the bonuses. And even if you decide not to stick with the program, you want to return it, they're letting you have all the bonuses for free. So it's a no risk offer for you. Okay, so take advantage of this. This has my highest recommendation. Trust me. I've told, we've had one-on-one conversations before. Number one thing I say, don't buy a product without talking to me about it, because not every product is appropriate to you, and it's easy to get shiny object syndrome where you buy everything and then you're like overwhelmed and you don't know where to talk. Look, this is important. Okay, I have the program. They sent it to me in advance. It's excellent. All right, I'm already using it. Okay, so listen, fill out the form, fax it to me. Okay, my fax number is below. Fax it to me as soon as possible. Okay, and again, you get all those bonuses, but on top of anything, you're not going to do it alone. I don't want you to just let it sit on your bookshelf. I want you to get it implemented, and that's why that 8-week coaching program is going to be critical for your success, where I help you actually develop or enhance your current one. Created this lead generation machine for you. Okay, so fill out the form, fax it to me. Fax numbers below. If you have any questions at all, feel free to email me, but do it before Saturday at 5 p.m. Why? Saturday at 5 p.m. I'm going to an event, and I won't be home, and I won't get the faxes. I've got to get it to GKIC on time in order for them to accept this offer. Okay, so again, this offer is just for friends and members of mine. $300 off. You will not, even if you watch the video of Dan, you will not get $300 off. They are trying to get maximum money out of their customers. That's what business is about. But they've made a special offer for us to do this for you. Okay, and I think, and again, my highest recommendation, lead flow is everything. You're going to learn tremendous amount here, so please take advantage of it. Fax it to me as soon as possible, and I look forward to helping you create your own lead generation machine. Bye now.